Welcome back to Moonlit Whispers. It's TT again. Tonight, we're heading to Vancouver, Canada, to the heart of Stanley Park. By day, it's one of the most beautiful places in the world. Joggers on the seawall, kids feeding squirrels, couples taking selfies against the skyline. But after midnight, the park feels different. The air gets colder. The shadows get heavier. And if you walk deep enough, you might hear the voices of children. Voices that have been calling for over 70 years. This is the story of the babes in the woods and why some say their spirits still wander Stanley Park. I went there myself after midnight. The city lights faded behind me, swallowed by the cedars. Vancouver felt miles away, even though I was still in the middle of it. Every step deeper into the forest felt like a trespass. The trail twisted where it shouldn't. The trees seemed to lean closer, like they were listening. And then I heard it. Children's laughter. Two voices, quick, overlapping, just ahead. I froze. My flashlight beam cut through the fog, and there they were, two small shadows, side by side. Standing still, watching. They were no taller than 8 or 9 years old. No faces. Just outlines. I called out, my voice too loud in the stillness. "Are you lost? Do you need help?" They didn't answer. They turned together perfectly in sync and slipped deeper into the trees, and of course, I followed. The deeper I went, the more wrong everything became. Trails I'd walked in daylight weren't where I expected. My phone lost signal. Even my footsteps sounded muffled, like the dirt wanted to keep me there. Finally, they stopped near a clearing. A mossy stump sat in the middle. When my light caught them, I realized what was wrong. Their faces weren't just hidden, they were gone. Not blurred, not shadowed, just missing. I stepped back, my boot catching on something half buried. I crouched and brushed away leaves. A glass bottle, old, brown, bubbled with age. Beside it, a shred of red fabric soaked into the earth. And that's when it hit me. I remembered the headline I'd seen years ago. 2 young boys found in Stanley Park, 1953. No names. No family ever claimed them. The city called them the babes in the woods. They were discovered right here next to a stump covered with a woman's coat, as if someone had tucked them in. And I realized exactly where I was standing. The forest grew colder. The air tightened in my chest. And then I heard her. A woman's voice just behind me, saying softly. It wasn't ghostly or dramatic. It sounded ordinary. Like someone rushing for the bus. Like a lie told too icily. And then came the footsteps. Heavy, measured, pacing on gravel where there was no path. Not the boys. Someone bigger. I didn't turn around. Instead, I spoke to the shadows. "Do you want me to take you home?" They tilted their heads like they'd heard that question before. Then one of them raised a hand and pointed not toward the seawall, not toward the city, but deeper into the park. And in that moment, I heard it. Shovel, soil, shovel. Soil, the sound of someone trying to bury the truth. I crouched down, shaking. "I can't name you," I whispered, "but I can count you. 1, 2. Together, for the first time, they stepped closer. The air around me turned so cold, my breath smoked. And for a single heartbeat, I saw them. Not clear, not whole, but freckles on a cheek. The start of a smile. A cowlick someone once smoothed down with spit, and then they vanished. The forest felt heavier now, like it was holding its breath, and I knew this wasn't over. The next night, I came back. People thought I was crazy, but I had to. Stanley Park has always been layered in stories. Long before the city, the Coast Salish people warned of spirits in the trees. Later in the 1920s, a man was murdered on these trails, his body never found. During World War II, soldiers camped here, swearing they heard cries at night but could never find where they came from. It's as if the park soaks up every sorrow and never lets it go. That night, the forest felt even stranger. The squirrels were silent. Even the raccoons stayed hidden. The only sound was the wind, whispering like it carried voices. Halfway down the bridle path, I saw them again. This time, they weren't alone. Behind them was a shape taller, heavier, just out of focus. It didn't move like the boys. It leaned forward, as if watching me. And when I raised my light, it was gone. At the stump, I left my offering again. 2 candles, a strip of red cloth. I whispered, "I haven't forgotten." This time, the forest answered. 3 old pennies lay in the ferns where nothing had been before. I picked one up. It was dated 1947. Too old to be random, too specific to be chance. And then I heard giggling again, closer than ever. Not in front of me, not behind, but circling. Like they were running in loops, trying to see if I would stay. And I did. I stayed until the candles burned low, until the shadows stretched long and the stump looked like a bed with no one left to wake. I don't pretend to solve mysteries. I'm not a detective. I'm just a storyteller who walks. But I know this: the forest remembers what the city tries to forget. So if you ever walk through Stanley Park after midnight and you hear laughter in the cedars, don't run. Don't laugh it off. Answer, count them. 1, 2, together, because some promises echo forever. This was Moonlit Whispers. I'm TT, and if this story stayed with you, hit like, subscribe, and tell me in the comments, what city should we haunt next? Until then, keep your light on.